The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Nick Fantasy. They just launched a new Ladders game with the 500 times your entry. Plus, when you do sign up for your new account and use the promo code SGPN, you get a $1,000 bonus credit. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. You can also sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN to get a $25 deposit match bonus. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's currently Thursday evening around 5 p.m. Eastern Time on May 8th. I'm Roast Episode Scout Reichel, joined again by Lonte Smith. Together, we're going to break down the games for the Friday card. Lonte, we've had some baseball so far. How's it going with you? How have you enjoyed your Thursday?
Not bad, man. Didn't have a lot of action on the baseball. I think I only got like 2 plays on the day so far, and they haven't kicked off or pitched off yet. So enjoyed it quite a bit, and it's always good with the baseball. But looking forward to some new series coming up this weekend.
Yep, should be fun. I saw Kansas City did end up dominating against the White Sox, as the White Sox are really, really bad at baseball. Well, again, they are 10-28. The Red Sox won 5-0. Twins did win 5-2, and the Tigers are up 10-1 in the first game of their doubleheader. Anyway, nothing else to really add there. Thinking of any news, I saw Chapman reach 104 miles per hour last night at 37 years old, which is kind of impossible to think about, that Chapman can still throw that hard. But yeah, that was definitely something that I thought was pretty cool. I didn't exactly expect that to happen, but I don't even know how your arm doesn't fall off when you throw 104 for that many years. But there was some news, by the way. If you ended up having action on the first manager market, hopefully you had Shelton, because Shelton got fired today from Pittsburgh. I mean, the team sucks anyway. They're going to blame the manager or whatever, but they've lost 7 in a row. They've been really bad all year, and you're looking at the record being 12-26. They're already 10 games back of the Cubs. So I'll ask you, starting off with the news that actually happened earlier today. Pittsburgh decided it was time to make a change. Do I think it's going to change anything? No.
Yeah.
It's not any good.
Yeah.
But do you think Shelton was holding the team back at all, or do you think this is just the front office using him as a scapegoat?
Yeah, the latter. I mean, they didn't do enough in the offseason, and I think we said it on the preview podcast, or I'm not sure if it was us, but they just didn't do enough. They didn't surround the team enough with enough bats. They didn't have enough pitching around Skeens. They're pretty much probably going to rot. They're going to waste his career. Hopefully he can get out of there because, I mean, I know it's early, but, man, he is in a bad spot right now with that organization. So I wouldn't technically blame the manager. I mean, I just think personnel-wise, they didn't have a good enough offseason. I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, I guess you can put some blame on him because he is, doing the lineups and stuff like that. But he just didn't have the horses to win a competitive race or be competitive in a race. So that's what I chalk it up to.
Yeah, just to read off, by the way, the final lineup that he actually used. For the record, they scored 0 runs in this game. Cruz led off. You had Reynolds at 2, McCutchen at 3, Bart's the cleanup hitter, Valdez at 4, Brian Hayes at the 6 spot. So Valdez 5, Hayes 6. Frazier at 7. Pham at 8. And Peguero at 9. I don't care who your manager is. You're not winning more than 60 games with that lineup. Like, that lineup is atrocious.
Exactly.
You're using post-prime Andrew McCutchen, who's actually been decent so far this season.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, he has been good.
And you have Bart at the 4 spot, Valdez at the 5. Like, you don't have any talent on your roster offensively besides your top 2 guys in Cruz and in Reynolds, and Reynolds batting .219. So they scored no runs in the last 2 games the last game that he was the manager of. I'm not surprised because they were going to blame somebody. The front office is incompetent. So that's the main thing I wanted to mention, because I'm not going to blame Shelton for that, but that was the main baseball news this morning, which was a manager actually getting fired in the very early stages of May. I mean, Pittsburgh sucks. What am I going to tell you? Like, they're a horrible franchise. So there we go. Either way, I wanted to mention that. Before we get into any of the games, though, for the Friday card, a reminder that you can also find our podcast and our picks on the SGPN app, which is very easy to download, completely free to download as well. So check out the SGPN app in the App Store today. Moving on to the actual games here for the Friday card, a bunch of games, because, of course, it is the weekend, so we have 15 games. Starting off with, coincidentally, the Pirates, who are going to have their first game with a new manager taking on the Braves. Braves are 2 games under. They're bad on the road, though, 6-13. Pittsburgh, despite being 14 under, is 5 under at home. You have Elder against Falter, 2 bad pitchers, same exact ERA, by the way, 5.06. For the over-under, I see the line at 8.5. I feel like you sometimes expect a new manager bump, and that's why people might pick Pittsburgh to win this one.
Mm-hmm.
I can't back that lineup.
Yeah.
Having said that, I kind of want the over because I don't like Falter and I don't like Elder. But Atlanta might just show up and smack this team. I think that you can make the argument that minus 155 is actually kind of cheap when you factor in the lineup disparity in terms of talent. I see a 148 out there, but Atlanta minus 1.5 plus 105. I don't like Elder. I don't think he's very good. But plus 105, I think is definitely an intriguing option when you have the much better roster against a team that we think the manager was the scapegoat for. This team can hit.
Mm-hmm.
So if Elder was going to go decently in an outing, it would probably be this one. I'll go with Atlanta minus 1.5.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I actually like under. You mentioned Pittsburgh not being able to hit. I mean, they're hitting 207 the last 10, 1 run or less scored in 4 of the last 5. They scored over 3 runs just twice in a 10-game span. There were 7 losses in a row. They just cannot hit at all. I don't like either pitcher that much. I mean, Elder has won 4 straight, 6 earned allowed in his last 3 combined, 9 in his previous 2. So a little bit of improvement there. Falter's coming off a gem of a start versus San Diego, which is a really good outing, but he's kind of been up and down ever since. But I don't really trust either offense. Atlanta, especially on the road, this is a good spot for them facing a team like Pittsburgh. But again, I kind of got to see it first. They're under in 8 of their last 10. And I just don't trust the Pittsburgh bats like you talked about at the top. So I'm going to go under. If I had to play anything on the side, it would be Atlanta with you with that 1.5.
Yeah, I just feel like Atlanta, based on recent form, they've just been the better team, obviously.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh's lost 7 in a row. This team's horrible.
Yeah.
Even when Skeens pitches, they can't win.
Yeah.
So I don't really have any reason to pick Pittsburgh besides the new manager bump. But if I'm not blaming the manager in the first place, I don't know what changing the manager is going to do. So I just think the team's not very talented.
Yeah.
So either way, I think that could be something to consider. So I'll go with Atlanta into that one. Moving on to the next game, you have the Rangers taking on the Tigers. Now, for this game, you have Corbin against Skubal. Now, Skubal, we know, has been amazing. Had a limited pitch count last game, but the point is we'll see how they look. They might have to use them a lot because they have a doubleheader today. They're up 10-1, though, in the first game, so it seems like the first game is going to be pretty straightforward. Tigers, though, massive favorites. Rangers fired their hitting coach. They're 2 games under 500. Did lose the game against the Red Sox on Thursday. Tigers, though, have been solid. They are 23-13. Really good at home, 13-3. For the run line in this game, you can find Skubal and the Tigers at minus 125. The Rangers plus 1.5 is plus 106. Corbin's been fine this season, 2-1, 3.28 ERA. Skubal's been very good. I like the first 5 under. I mean, the total's at 7.5. I see a low-scoring start to this game. Skubal might just shove again, and that would not shock me at all. But I do think Skubal has to go distance because of the amount of relievers they're going to use in the doubleheader. So I don't mind Skubal win, maybe. I don't mind the strikeouts maybe for Skubal as well. I think it'll go well here, though. But I think Corbin can actually go okay. Give me the first 5 under in this game. But I don't mind the Rangers to lose 4-2 in this game. So maybe the under, maybe Tigers minus 1.5, but I'll go first 5 under instead.
Yeah, probably get a little bit creative and go with maybe maybe a Skubal to win, and then the strikeouts like 7+, 8+, because he's had 8+ in 3 of his last 4. 0.9 ERA in his last 5. He's 4-1. He's been lights out. Detroit has been one of the most consistent teams all year against a really top-heavy schedule. They're 7-3 in their last 10. I guess 8-3 in their last 11 if you count this win that they're about to get. But they're averaging about 8.6 runs in their 7 wins, hitting almost 280 in the last 10. I mean, just pretty straightforward. I mean, Texas has not been in good form, although Corbin has been solid. He hasn't allowed over 3 runs in his last 5. I don't trust him here against Detroit, especially at home with how well they play. Texas has lost 7 of 10. Their bullpen ERA is over 5 in the last 10, so they're not pitching that well. Detroit's lineup is really, really hitting the ball well. I don't think they'll get anything off of Skubal. I like Texas team total under in the first 5 as well, so I'd be all over Detroit in this one.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Skubal's the best pitcher in the league. You could argue.
Yeah, 100%.
This year, you could argue Yamamoto, but including last year, it's probably Skubal. I think Detroit is just right now in a great spot. This team is actually really good.
Really, really
They
good.
would be my pick to win the American League right now. So that's kind of where I'm at with this team. I think Detroit is solid. That's kind of where I'm at. Moving on to the next game, you have the Cardinals taking on the Nationals. Now, for this game, you have Fetty against Parker. Nationals minus 115, Cardinals minus 105. The over-under in this game is set at about 8.5. Now, Fedde this season has not been very good. A 2-3, 4.78 ERA. Parker's been fine, 3.48 ERA. Nationals 1 over at home, Cardinals 4-13 on the road. I understand both teams aren't exactly trustworthy, but based on the actual environment with the Cardinals being on the road, it's pretty straightforward to me. I'll take Washington.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I love the over in the spot, though. We got both pitchers with walk issues. Fedde has 17 walks in his last 5. Parker has been inefficient as well, 14 walks in his last 5. He's also allowed 11 combined earned runs in his last 2 starts. Fedde's hit rate has been extremely high. In St. Louis, like you said, their home road splits are pretty glaring. I mean, look no further. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They're over in 7 of those. A lot of those wins, 6 of them actually, came at home where they obviously play really well. So they hit the ball well. They're solid versus lefties. Washington's bullpen is a disaster, almost ERA of 10 in their last 10 games. Their offense is fine. I mean, hitting about 256 last 10, 5.1 runs per 9 on about 9 hits. So I expect both offenses to be fine here. I won't trust St. Louis on the road, but I will trust both teams to score 5+ runs here. So I think we get a really exciting series between these two. Expecting a lot of offense, especially in this one.
I can see some blown leads over the course of
absolutely.
games. So there you go. Moving on to the next game, you have the Brewers taking on the Rays. Now for this game, you have Quintana, who was not very good last outing against the Cubs, but he's been great besides that. Against Littell, who's been better lately, but still not great this season. 2-5, 4.61 ERA. Minus 110 apiece for the over-under. I see the line being set at about 9. At first glance, 9 feels pretty high. Now, Tampa does play against the Phillies on Thursday. Milwaukee does have a day off. So Milwaukee does have a rest advantage. They could get to Tampa early, in theory, for this series. I like Milwaukee anyway. I think that Quintana's better than Littell. I think this total's high, though. I'll go under for this one because Tampa can't really hit. They're bottom 10 in runs per game. Give me the under and give me the Brewers.
Yeah, I like under as well. I think it's a complete coin flip, as you can see on the lines. Littell 4 straight under. He's not allowed over 3 runs in his last 4. The one thing he does when he's allowing runs, he's allowing home runs. He's got 4 home runs allowed in his last 3. But Tampa's offense, I mean, they're hitting under 210 in their last 10, averaging about 2.5 runs per 9. Milwaukee is one of those teams that I kind of want to buy into, but they kind of just give me. They're real weird. They're a weird team for me. They're hitting about 204 the last 10. The offense is solid on the road, about 5 runs per 9 on about 9 hits. So I think the offense will be fine. Quintana, I just don't really trust him. He's coming off his worst start versus the Cubs, 6 earned run, but he had 3 combined in the 4 previous starts. So I would prefer the offense. I guess the offense would be the best unit. The offense of Milwaukee would be the best unit of the 4 units in the game. So I'm going to take Milwaukee, but I love the under in this spot. I think both offenses struggle here despite the little bit of faith I have in both pitchers.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. Moving on to the next game, going to look at the Cubs against the Mets, which might be the series of the weekend.
Great series.
For this one, you have Tyone, who's pitching against Holmes. So far this season, Tyone's been okay. 2-1, 3.86 ERA. Holmes, though, has been really good. 4-1, 2.95 ERA. Mets are minus 160. Cubs are plus 135. We know that the Mets are amazing at Citi Field as they are 13-3. Cubs are 12-7, though, on the road. For the over-under in this game, I see 8 or 7.5. Now, I understand that Holmes been good this season. 7.5 with the Cubs is just way too low for me. I got to go over in this game.
Absolutely, man. I love the over. I think I wanted to come in to bet the Mets, but I mean 160 is
160. I understand it, but it's too steep against this Cubs team.
Yeah, a little bit steep for me. And especially with the Mets, their bullpen has been elite all year, but they've struggled as of late. The ERA right at 4 in their last 10, so they've struggled a little bit, and I kind of want to see that come down a bit. And the Mets have been inconsistent thus far, mostly away from Citi Field. And the Cubs, a little bit inconsistent as of late after that hot start, but offensively, they're still pretty damn good. The bullpen is also struggling. Tyone's hit rate has been pretty low. His hit rate has been pretty low. And he's pitched very well, 2 or less allowed in 4 straight. But the Mets offense at home, and you see Soto got it going. So I'm wondering if they're kind of turning the corner offensively. They're hitting about 280 in the last 10 versus righties. Man, I think this could be a good spot for the Mets. 160 is a little bit too high for me. I wanted to stay around that 140 range. But the over is calling my name. So I like the over. Short. It's a short number. I mean, the Mets at home, they could get this damn near by themselves.
And the Cubs can also get it themselves because they're
Exactly.
really, really good. So
yeah,
I
with
like
both
the over.
both bullpens being shaky, man, you could get, if we get the four runs each, I mean, hey, we got a winner.
I mean, there's a chance you get 3 runs each, you get to extras, and then at that point, the game kind of explodes too. But I do think
like
that 7.5 feels pretty low. So I'll go with
agree.
the over there with you. Before we get into the other games on the Friday card, a reminder that we're brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas because they're giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience. For a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay, the winner will receive a 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino for the entire 12-person league. Hold your draft at the Cabana at Stadium Swim with a $5,000 food and beverage credit. Limo, also transportation, is provided for you to and from the airport, a welcome party at a Legacy Club for the league, a reservation at the world's largest sports book with $500 beverage credit for the league. And a reminder, you can also enter the contest because the contest is from May 5th to June 30th. Enter at sportscampcom, so circa sportscampcom/CIRCA. We're also brought to you by EdgeBoost, the first ever bank cable for bettors. They also allow you the ability to ensure that all your transactions are approved. Also, use it for no usage fees, no minimum balance. You can also use it for the cashback awards and the 100% approval for all deposits. You sign up today at edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and EdgeBoost will match your deposit. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog. They just launched their new game mode ladders. 1 to 500 times your entry by watching your favorite players climb the ladder. Sign up, though, for your new account with the promo code MLBSGPN to claim a special pick and a first-time deposit offer up to 1K bonus cash. A fancy promo code MLBSGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games on the Friday card. Time to move on into the next game, the Phillies taking on the Guardians. Now, for this game, you have Nola pitching against Williams. Phillies minus 130. You have the Guardians at plus 110. For the over-under in this game, I see the line being set at 7.5. Now, Nola's numbers have been bad this season, but he has been really good lately. Last 2 starts, 13 innings pitched, 1 run. So don't be confused or misled by the overall season numbers. He's figured it out. As for Williams, he's been pretty up and down all year. Philly, though, has scored 7+ runs in 4 straight games. They've been really good. The offense is humming. Give me Philly minus 130.
Damn, you took my whole handicap. That's exactly what I was going to say. It was a pretty simple handicap for me, just the way the Phillies have been playing. They started off a little bit inconsistent. Through this last 10-game stretch, they've been really good.
3-2, I think, in the last time.
Yeah. You mentioned the offense. Pitching has been a lot better. The ERA is around 2.62. The last 10, they're hitting almost 290 in the last 10, 6.4 runs per 9. Nola's been in good form. You mentioned the 13 in the third with one earned combined. He had 10 earned run in the prior 2, so he's going a lot better. And I just don't really trust Gavin Williams, although Cleveland's playing a lot better in the past few series. I don't trust Gavin Williams. He's only had 6 innings pitched in his last 2 combined, 15 walks in his last 5, 5 home runs allowed his last 4, high hit rate. So I think Philly offensively should be able to tear him alive. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that run line as well. So I'll basically split a unit. I go 75 on the money line and 25 on the run line.
Yeah, I think that Philly could win this game by multiple runs as well. Looking at the next game, you have the Red Sox against the Royals. And the Royals have been surging lately, won again today. For the Red Sox, they did win as well as they beat the Rangers. You have Dobbins against Lorenzen. Now, the Red Sox are minus 120. Royals are even money. And the over-under in this game is set at 9. First glance, 9's a really high total for Kansas City. I know they had a good game today offensively against the White Sox, but they've still been a bad offense. They've been great recently at home, though, 15-5, and they have kind of just shot up the standings very quickly over the last 2 weeks. Boston's about 500, slightly over. Dobbins has been fine this season, 2-1, 3.78 ERA. Lorenzen, though, has really not been great, which is why this is a bit tricky. I think I'll go with the Red Sox team total over because I don't trust Lorenzen. I think he could struggle in this game. I think the Red Sox can get to him. You could argue the under is intriguing because this total does feel pretty high for the entire game at 9. But I'm really not a Lorenzen guy, and I think he's been struggling this season. So I don't mind the Red Sox getting to him. I'll go Red Sox team total over.
Yeah, you said Kansas City's even money at home, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's wrong. I think it should probably be about 115. I mean, just the way Kansas City's been playing, they've
15-5 at home.
Yeah, they've been one of the hottest teams overall. In the past few weeks. I mean, they're 8-2 last 10. They're hitting the ball really well, averaging almost 10 hits in the last 10, about 280. They got 5 straight wins. Pitching's been lights out. 2.2 ERA overall for their bullpen and their starters. Lorenzen, he was steady outside of that one start. The last start that he had against Baltimore was concerning because Baltimore had been struggling. He gave up 4 home runs, 5 total runs. So that was a bit concerning. But, I mean, Boston's been inconsistent all year. Offense has kind of carried the charge for them, but the pitching hasn't been as good. Dobbins is okay. His contact rate's a little bit higher than what you would want it to be. Can Kansas City take advantage? I think so. And I think Lorenzen, if he can go well and get around, a couple times through the order with a little bit of damage, gaining some confidence. So I like Kansas City at home at the even money. That's a pretty good price.
Yeah, I think that Kansas City is being mispriced as well, but I do think Lorenzen could struggle. So I'd rather just fade him. That might be why I think Dobbins might even be slightly better than Lorenzen right now. I just don't think Lorenzen's that great. So give me the Red Sox offense. I'll ignore the pitching entirely. Moving on to the worst series of the weekend, the Marlins against the White Sox. For this one, you have a matchup between Mayer against Wilson. Marlins are minus 150. White Sox are plus 125. And the over-under in this game, I see around 8. Now, Wilson actually went some distance last start because he's been struggling in that area, went 4 2/3, gives up a ton of contact, was not very good, gave up 4 runs and 9 hits in 4 2/3 against the Astros. We know the White Sox have been struggling again as they've lost 4 straight. Miami's been up and down, did win a game against the Dodgers, so there's that at least. But Mayer was off to a great start this season, not so much recently, has given up 10 runs in his last 2 starts. I'd consider an over, but I don't trust either offense. So I think I'd rather go for maybe just a player prop. I don't mind Wilson hits allowed. I don't mind the over on that one. But I think 8 sounds about right for these offenses, but I think I would go with the over just based on recent form. I don't feel good about it, but Wilson I don't think is very good, and Mayer's been struggling. So I guess I'm priced into an over at 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Miami team total over, similar to what you were saying with the last game that we were handicapping. I mean, I just think, I think Miami's offense is a lot better here. Although the White Sox have been playing a lot better than Miami has. Granted, a lot of that damage done to Miami was against the Dodgers in 2 series, so they probably look a lot different if they didn't play the Dodgers for 7 games or 6 games or something like that in the past week.
It felt like 15.
But yeah. And I love Meyer, but I mean he's just not been as sharp as of late. And I trust the offense a little bit more. I think there's our best unit in this game, so I'm going to go with Miami's team total over. I would probably lay the 1.5 with Miami if I had to, but I prefer the team total over to be on the safer side.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, the Reds against the Astros. Now for this game, you have Martinez against Brown. Astros are minus 180. You have the Reds at plus 150. And the over-under in this game is set at about 7.5. Now, Martinez this season has been battling. He hasn't really been good, especially on the road, 5.06 ERA on the road, but really good lately. He's given up less than 3 earned in 3 straight. In fact, there's been less than 8 runs in 3 straight starts for Martinez as a whole. And Brown, we know, has been amazing. The one team that kind of roughed up was the White Sox randomly, but he has a 1.38 ERA at home, and he's been phenomenal. So I like the first 5 under in this game. I think Martinez can go pretty well. Houston offensively has not been very good. Jordan's also injured, which is going to impact the lineup too. The Astros really don't have much power. A lot of contact, but not much power. And I do think that Martinez can keep the ball in the ballpark, which should help. But Brown's amazing. He's been great all year. Give me the under for the first 5. I'll ignore the actual bullpens involved. 180 might feel a bit steep for Houston because they can't really hit. But I understand because the Reds, I think, can always be vulnerable with that bullpen. So I'll go with the under. I see even money. I even see plus money at 7.5. But I'll go with the first 5 under 4 because I can see a low-scoring start to this game.
Yeah, I had the spot circled for Houston. To be honest, but 180 is way higher than what I wanted it to be.
It basically forced you into run, line, or pass, and that's kind of
and I can understand it because of how well Brown's been pitching. But I mean, Houston's been inconsistent, and I guess you can counter against that to say that Cincinnati's been inconsistent as well. A team that I've been pretty much fading. They can't really hit the ball. They're hitting about 206 in the last 10. And let me ask you something. When do you think the last time Cincinnati has beaten Houston, or Houston has beaten Cincinnati? I'm sorry.
The last time?
Yeah.
I think last year I was actually in Parks Casino and the Reds were kicking their asses. I'm going to say, I don't know, like 6 games ago?
9. They haven't won. Cincinnati's won 9 in a row versus Houston. The last loss against Houston came in 2016.
Okay.
which is interesting.
I knew the Reds were doing well against this team. I just didn't know how well.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty interesting. And Houston, they're coming off. They didn't have the best road trip. They were 2-4 in those two series. The pitching's been better at home. Obviously, with Brown on the mound, you get an extra jolt because he's going to go some distance. He got 3 shutouts in his last 5 starts. Cincinnati's offense, like I said, not hitting the ball well. I don't really trust him to be consistent. I want to take Houston. I really do, but I'm going to take them in the first 5. I'm going to take them on like minus a half a run in the first 5 instead of landing at 180. I just don't trust that price. It's kind of out of my range. So let's go Houston first 5.
Yeah, I think Houston can get off to a good start, but I'm kind of banking on Brown to pitch well no matter what. So if you're looking at Martinez maybe giving up 2 or 3 in the first 5 and Brown just shoves, then you're still in good shape at the first 5 under. So there you go. Moving on to the next game, you have the Giants against the Twins. For this game, we saw the Twins sweep the Orioles, and the Orioles suck. For the Giants, they're still solid. They're 24-14. Hicks, those pitching against Paddock, which might be the worst pitching matchup of the entire day. For the money line, I see the Twins at minus 120, Giants at plus 102, and I see the over-under at 9. It's a high total. I get it. Both pitchers I don't trust. And I actually might consider Minnesota, but with Paddock pitching, I can't do it. I just see chaos. Just give me the over in the game.
Yeah, I like the over as well. San Francisco stumbled a bit, but they've been better as of late. Good series win versus Chicago, with the Cubs, I'm sorry. And they have won 5 of the last 6. They're averaging about 6 runs in that stretch. Bullpen has been good, actually better than the starters. So I think that gives a little leeway here with Hicks being there. High hit rate, a lot of runs allowed, some walk issues. But Minnesota quietly has been pretty good. They've won 4 straight. Like you said, Paddock, man, I can't. This price is not. This price doesn't line up with how I handicap the game. I know Hicks and Paddock can kind of be coin flippy, but I think I trust San Francisco team even on the road. So I'll take the plus money, and I like the over as well.
Yeah, Minnesota's quietly been decent lately, but then again, the Orioles might just be the Orioles, so it's tough to really read into. But Paddock, I don't like. Hicks, I don't like. Sure, just give me the over. Moving on to the next game, you have the Padres against the Rockies. Yankees did win the series against San Diego, but it wasn't easy. For this one, though, you have Vasquez against Senzatella. Rockies are in a doubleheader where they might get destroyed in both games. We'll see. Rockies are 6-29. Senzatella's been awful. 1-5, 5.5 ERA. You're looking at Vasquez, though, has not been good on the road. Was good last start, though. 5 innings, 1 run against Pittsburgh, but they can't hit, as we talked about before. For the over-under, I see 10.5. For the run line in this game, I see the Padres being minus 1.5 at around minus 110. I mean, Senzatella is just not any good. And I think Vasquez can go decently on occasion, at least. But Senzatella has an ERA of 7+ at home. He's given up 4+ earned runs in about 4 of his last 5. The Rockies have failed to cover the run line 4 of his last 5 starts. I mean, they've been just awful, and he's been bad too. I got to go Padres minus 1.5 here. I just feel like Senzatella's that bad. It's kind of a simple handicap, but Vasquez could get shelled too. Maybe can argue an over. But I do think minus 110, fading Senzatella, picking a team with 9 at-bats and cores to destroy him, has too much value. I'll go with San Diego minus 1.5. Yeah,
pretty easy for me, man. I like the minus 1.5. I like the team total over. San Diego outscored them 18-0 in that April series. I don't see much changing here. So especially coming off of a lackluster series loss versus the Yankees. I mean, the Yankees, it was obviously a good series, but you don't want to get too down. They blew one of those games, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I like the team total over for San Diego, and I'll take the run line as well. Just don't see much changing from a switch of venues.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, you have another bad series. You have the Orioles against the Angels. Angels, though, nice walk-off by Soler yesterday. For the Orioles, there's nothing good to say about this team. 13-23, got swept by Minnesota. You have Sagano and the Orioles laying minus 150. Well, this shouldn't take long. Angels, though, plus 125. Hendricks is pitching. We know he stinks. He's 1-3, 5.28 ERA. For the over-under, I see the line being set at 9.5. Now, Hendricks, though, despite being bad overall, at home does have a 2.84 ERA. Was very good at home against the Tigers. Ended up going 7 2/3, 1 earned run last start. I got really nothing else to say besides how the hell can you lay 150 with Baltimore? I got to go by default. This price is insane.
Yeah, I like the over as well. Hendricks, he's been inconsistent. 0-5, 3-7, 1 earned runs in his last 5. he's not allowed over 5 hits in his last 5, but he's had walk issues. He had 12 walks in his last 5, so he's got a pretty weird game log. But again, they can't hit. They can't do. The Angels can't do a ton of things right. And on the other side, Baltimore is not any good at all. Like Sagano, he's not allowing a lot of hits, but when he does, they're home runs.
You compare him to every other pitcher in that rotation, he's basically Nolan Ryan, because everyone else in that rotation is atrocious. At least he's actually competent.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good one. And they've allowed 5+ runs in 3 of the last 4. 4 straight losses, 7 of the last 10 they've lost. I'm going to just go over and take the Angels with you for the value. I just don't think you should be able to lay 150 with Baltimore. Not in current form right now.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, you have the Dodgers against the Diamondbacks. This is going to be the third to last game on the card. Sasaki against Rodriguez. Now you have Sasaki and the Dodgers -135. Erod is +115, but he's also been bad this season. 1-3, 5.92 ERA. Better at home. Has given up at least 4 runs in 3 straight, though, which is not exactly ideal. For the over-under in this game, I see 10 or 9.5. I think it could be a high-scoring game, but 135 is too cheap. I'll take the Dodgers. Erod's just not any good. I've mentioned this many times on the show. Since signing with Arizona, he basically took over Bumgarner's role as the overpaid lefty on the staff. He's just been really bad since joining Arizona. ERA north of 5 since joining the franchise, even including last year. Sasaki's been okay. He's not great, but you know what? Serviceable's fine with this offense. Give me the Dodgers -135.
Yeah, I like the Dodgers as well. I like their team total over. This is their 3rd straight road series. They're 4-2 thus far.
Otani's been so damn good, though.
Oh my God, Freddie Freeman as well. 8-2 the last 10, but not the best quality of opponents. I mean, Pittsburgh, Miami twice. Okay, but they're still handling business. Arizona on the other side, they've had a tough stretch of opponents. I mean, Philly, the Mets twice, and then Atlanta. Atlanta is like it's okay, I guess series, but they're pretty much very hit or miss offensively. I think Sasaki can be okay. I mean, I think they're gradually stringing him along. He has a lot of home run in 3 straight, so kind of need to clean that up. Not a lot of hits allowed though. His length has increased with each start. 3 runs or less allowed in 5 straight. So he's going okay, like you said. But I trust the offense of the Dodgers in like full throttle to keep it going. Rodriguez, 6.28 ERA last 5. 4 home runs allowed in the last 2. 6+ hits allowed in 4 straight. I think the Dodgers manhandle him. I'm looking at the Dodgers' first 5 team total over as well.
Yeah, Erod's a guy that I'm not a fan of. And the one memory I have of Erod against the Dodgers was the Puig 3-run homer against him in the World Series. So that's what I remember. They won the game anyway, but you remember the video of him spiking his glove on the mound.
Yeah.
And there you go. They came back and they won the game anyway. Moving on to the next game. We have the Blue Jays against the Mariners. Now, Blue Jays are once again not hitting, which is something that we're used to. Gausman's pitching against Castillo. Mariners, though, 22-14. Been solid. -145, give or take. Toronto's +120 for the over-under in this game. I see the line being set at 7.5. Big news, by the way. If you are confused about some actual rosters, Luis F. Castillo is no longer on Seattle. So they no longer have both Luis Castillos. I believe he went to Pittsburgh. So something to keep in mind. You don't have to worry about wondering why the pitcher Luis Castillo is hitting. He was never hitting. It was another Luis Castillo, but he's not on the Mariners anymore. Anyway, for this game, the Blue Jays said before have not been hitting. They're 16-20. They've lost 4 straight. They've been very, very classic Blue Jays fashion up and down. Seattle, though, has been really good. Props to them for basically nothing in the offseason and being so far this season good. They are 12-6 straight up at home. They have won, I believe it is 8 of their last 10. They've been rolling at this point.
Damn, dude. Yep.
I'll take Castillo. I think the price is too cheap on Seattle. Toronto can't hit. They've lost 4 in a row. They're bad on the road. And Seattle being 12-6 at home. I see a 136 actually on FanDuel. I'll grab that. Give me Castillo and the Mariners at a pretty, I think, affordable moneyline price.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's too short. Seattle's a bet on team for me. I got some futures, added some futures on them before they started this streak, but they've been really good. Offense has been rolling. Pitching has always been outstanding. They scored 5+ runs in 8 of their last 10 versus righties in their last 10. They're hitting .304, 8 runs per 9 in that span. So they're really, really good. And Castillo's been underwhelming as a whole, but better lately. 1 combined in his last 2 starts. He did allow 10 hits and 3 runs versus Toronto on 420. Maybe he was a little bit high, but I think he'll calm that down here on the road. The best Gosman is road Gosman, but he's been inconsistent all year. I don't trust Toronto at all. I mean, 3-7 last 10. You mentioned the 4 losses in a row. They're hitting 227 on the road, 2.7 runs per 9. I don't know how they hit Castillo or anybody on this staff, bullpen-wise. I think Seattle buries them here. So I'm going to go with Seattle, and I like the team total over as well.
Yeah. Moving on to the last game, Yankees taking on the A's. Now, for this matchup, you have the Yankees, who are favored because, of course, they are, even though they probably shouldn't be. Warren is pitching, who's been terrible. 1-2, 5.65 ERA. A's are using Bitto, 4.71 ERA. Yankees minus 150. A's are plus 125. It's a good hitters-friendly ballpark, but the Yankees right now, besides Judge, haven't done much. Had one game where they exploded against the Padres, did win in extras yesterday. They really don't look great. Devin Williams, though, got out of a bases-loaded jam, struck it to T, so maybe he'll actually pitch decently moving forward. Bitto's been bad, though. 6.32 ERA at home.
Mm-hmm.
Was not good against Miami last time out. I don't trust either pitcher at all, so I like the over in this game. I see the line at 10 or 10.5. And you know what? I see the vision. I'll go with the over 10.
Yeah, one of my favorite plays on the card, man. I love the over. Bitto, he's been up and down over the last handful of starts, but one thing he doesn't do is strike out guys. He allows a lot of contact, and that does not bode well for the Yankee offense. That does not bode well for
him against the Yankee offense.
for him against the offense. He pitched well versus San Diego, but since he's not played any good offenses at all, and I mean, I guess, outside of Judge, you can kind of debate if the Yankees are, a AAA team. But I think that they'll be able to get to him in this ballpark. This is one of my favorite plays, man. I think the Yankees might could score 10 runs on their own in this specific spot. They're hitting about 270 on the road, 5 runs per 9. That series win versus San Diego got him a little bit of confidence. And on the other side, I don't really trust Warren at all. His hit rates increased over the last 2 games. He got 3 straight losses, not much length. The Athletics, man, they've been fairly consistent in their last 10 games. They're 6-4.
Butler started mashing a bit more.
Yeah, and they're hitting the ball extremely well. They're hitting 275 last 10 on about 10 hits. So I see both teams having the ability to score runs. So I love the over. One of my favorite plays on the card.
Yeah, for value for me, I don't think the Yankees should be 150.
Yeah, I'm taking.
I think that's insane. So I'd consider the A's here, but I like the over. I just see runs. Maybe A's team total over. If you don't ignore Bitto entirely, just fade Warren. I can get behind that too. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for every game on the Friday card. Now it's time for the Lock and Load picks. For that, the reminder, they're brought to you by Rhythm, because they are the home of AI back picks and props, also available for the NBA playoffs and the MLB prop market. So you can also build your own model with Rhythm. Very easy to do. Try it out for free for a week by using the 7-day free trial. And also a reminder, they have discount codes. One for a monthly discount, one for an annual discount. Monthly deal, though, 25% off the monthly deal with the promo code SGPN25. 50% off, though, the annual deal with the promo code SGPN50. That's Rhythm, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. Sign up for the 7-day free trial by going to sportsgambling.com/rhythm. We're also brought to you by MyBookie, because MyBookie plays in every sport. They have the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, they have baseball, they have UFC, you name it. They also have tennis. Every sport you think of, MyBookie does have. Props in every game as well. You can also use it in a ton of locations. Also use crypto for Lightning Fast payouts, easy deposits. Head to the actual website, mybookie.ag, with the promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit match up to 1K. Terms and conditions, mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through every game on the Friday card. Now it's time for the lock and dog plays. Lonte, I'll let you go first. What's going to be your lock and dog for the show?
Yeah, man, I'm going to keep it simple. I love the Seattle Mariners in this spot against Toronto. Especially with how they're slumping. Both teams going in totally opposite directions. If Castillo can just be as good as he's been in the last 2, even just a little bit of that, I think he'll be good. Gosman is good on the road. Well, historically, he's been better on the road than at home. But I do think that it's something to the way Seattle's playing. I think they're going to keep it going. They took 2 or 3 in the mid-April series, outscored them, Toronto, that is, 17-10 in that span. I think they'll be fine here. 135 is way too short for the way that this team has been playing. Too much respect for Gosman. So give me that 135 for Seattle. Dog-wise, I'm gonna go pretty small dog here. Let's go with the San Francisco Giants. I'm trusting Hicks here, which is, I know, a risky business. But, I mean, I trust the offense of San Francisco, and I don't trust Paddock. So I mean, 5 or 6 they won, averaging 6 runs in that span. Bullpen's been good. If Hicks can just give you a little bit of something, I think the San Francisco Giants roll here. So let's go with San Francisco and get them like plus 105-ish. I think that's fine.
Yeah. So for my lock, I'm torn between either the Padres run line or the Dodgers. I feel like Erod is just not very good, but Arizona at home can always be feisty, which can always be maybe over in that game. But you know what? I'll go with the Padres minus 1.5. I have a reason to bet against the Rockies. Not that I needed one, but I appreciate it. Vasquez, I think, can go okay. It's all he needs to do. Sanzatello has been terrible. A 7.63 ERA at home, giving up 4+ runs in 4 of his last 5. Doesn't strike really anybody out. Gives up a ton of contact. Giving up 6+ hits in 5 straight. He's been a mess all season, and I can fade him at minus 110. I like the value. Give me San Diego minus 1.5 as my lock. For my dog, you know what? I'll go with Hendricks and the Angels. Orioles are terrible. They're laying 150. A bunch of nonsense to me. Give me the Angels money line at around plus 125. Seeing if I could find a better price available, I just see 125. So Hendricks was good last start. I think he can go well again here. Baltimore, though, got swept by Minnesota. They're bad at everything. I see a pretty mispriced line for me. Give me the Angels on the money line at plus 125 as my dog. Now for the home run picks. Lonte, I'll let you go first. What do you like?
Man, it was tough. It was really tough. But I'm gonna go to Coors, and a team that we expect to score a lot of runs. Let's go with. Let's see. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find.
It's all good.
Let's go with. Let's go with Machado. Let's go with Manny Machado.
Okay.
I think he'll work fine. He's been hitting the ball really well. I mean, he's had multi-hits in 3 of his last 4. Now, he hasn't hit a home run since May 3rd, but I think he's going to be on pace to hit one tomorrow.
Yeah, so for mine, I think I'm going to go to the late game between the Yankees and the A's. Total's at 10.5, so I might as well. I'm going to go with Lawrence Butler, who's been heating up recently. Had a home run in the game on Wednesday. I do think that he is starting to, I don't want to say turn around his season, but it looks like he's looking a bit more comfortable at the plate. Has 6 home runs this season. He's been a lot better against righties than lefties, and Warren has not been very good against lefties this season. And at home this season, he has been okay with home runs, 3 home runs, 65 at bats. So I do think that there is some power, obviously, that he possesses. Mainly wanting to fade Warren, and Warren's lefty-righty splits are noticeable. He's definitely worse against lefties. So give me Butler, high total. Think he'll look sharp at home here. I'll take Butler as my home run pick for this game. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for the show. Lonte, anything else you want to add?
No, that's it, man.
Cool. Anyway, until next time, you can find us on Twitter, Reichel Radio. Find us on the show again tomorrow. There will be a prop show Friday morning and a regular show for the Saturday games. And then, of course, we do take Saturday off, so we'll be back on Sunday after that. But you can find me on Twitter, Reichel Radio. Find him on Twitter, XXLonteXX. Until next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.